sure you're all familiar with these, which is this is a common servo. This particular model is a SG90 made by Tower Pro. I usually go for these to think outside the box, because a servo basically it's all self-contained. I'm just holding up an empty shell at the moment, but normally there'd be something like an N20 motor, something that size inside, driving a reduction gearbox, usually plastic gears on the cheap ones and metal gears on more expensive ones, but they also contain a driver. So basically the output shaft is monitored by a potentiometer, so that's connected to the output shaft, so the motor would be normally connected across there. In this case it was hardwired straight onto the board of the motor, so its setup was like that, but I'm thinking outside the box, so I'm using the motor that we fitted earlier, the bucket tilt ram, and I'm going to use this setup to drive it. So basically we've got the usual servo connection, which is 5 volts on the centre, red, ground on the brown wire, and signal or PWM signal on the orange wire. So under normal circumstances, if you alter or change the PWM signal, this little board will turn the motor or switch on the motor. It turns it in the right direction and it turns it as far as this potentiometer will allow it to go. We're going to use this servo control, this motor driver. Let's put that to one side. So it's a digital servo, so it's quite accurate, and this pot, I shall remove this pot from the circuit board and fit it remotely onto the carriage and have a 3-wire circuit coming back and soldered onto the same points as the board. So the output, this will be the output for the motor, so I've put it on a couple of leads so that I can transfer it onto any other N20 motor. Now the downside is you're not getting 5 or 6 volts out, so it means that the motor is going to always turn slower than what it should do. So in order to boost up the motor speed, I'm going to put the output of this into an input of a motor driver. So this is effectively an H-bridge, and what this does is it applies battery voltage to the motor, but it's controlled by the output of the servo motor driver. So that's how you can use a servo device without first of all overloading the circuit, or using the output to run the speed of the motor, which it will never achieve full speed. Servo drivers briefly explained.